Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Rent Prep for Landlords. I'm your host, Eric Worrell, and this is episode number 314. Today we're going to be talking about the subject matter of beware of the backlog. And what I mean by that is that we are going to have a serious backlog of inventory, service providers, and all sorts of things affecting real estate investors that are going to be happening in the next weeks as the country starts to slowly reopen. So we're going to talk about that right after this.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Welcome to the Rent Prep for Landlords podcast. And now your host, Eric Worrell.
So as usual, a recent article is what kind of spurred this thought here. I found an article from keepingcurrentmatters.com that was posted. Some of these websites, they put the date on when they posted at the bottom. It was posted May 27th, 2020. And the title of the article is Why This Summer is the 2020 Real Estate Season. And reading through the article actually kind of got me to think about my own experience of what's going on with real estate right now. And I'm sure a lot of you are experiencing this as well, where a lot of businesses have been shut down and are now in the process of reopening. And something that I've been working through is we had some really unusually warm temperatures in May here in Buffalo, New York. Temperatures were getting up into the high 80s. What I did is I said, you know what, this is enough. I need AC in my house. I got pretty good tree coverage, so I do get some shade, but when it starts getting in that range, it's a little bit much, especially with having 4 people in the house. It's just like, how many window AC units do I possibly want? So this kind of took me down a path of getting estimates. So I started reaching out to companies, and every one of them saying the same thing. Like, our estimates are 3 weeks out. I got one that was able to come out, but he was 3 weeks pushed out as far as installation. So I keep running into this where I'm like, well, if your estimate's 3 weeks out, how far are you booked out in actual construction or installation? So what I've been finding from at least my personal experience in the local Buffalo market is that contractors are very backed up, which makes sense. Because I know a friend of mine, she was supposed to have a kitchen contractor come in and remodel her kitchen, and then COVID happened, so they couldn't do it. And then they're also getting people probably requesting quotes and estimates while that's still happening, and they couldn't actually service that. So what we're seeing is a massive backlog of service providers and what they're able to do. So as a real estate investor, I think that's important to consider, because if you are looking at potentially purchasing a flip, or you're a buy and hold rental, and you're not somebody who does everything yourself, you may want to consider what how maxed out your service providers, your contractors are. Because if they're really maxed out, you may want to take whatever you think your scheduled time that's going to take you to renovate this property, and you might need to add 50% to it, or double that time frame. So getting back to that article too, it's talking about why this summer is the 2020 real estate season. And this was written by, let's see if they gave me that information. They do not. It says that with stay-at-home orders starting to gradually lift throughout parts of the country, data indicates home buyers are jumping back into the market. After many families put their plans on hold due to the COVID-19 pandemic, what we once called the busy spring real estate season is shifting into the summer. In 2020, summer is the new spring for real estate. So Joel Kahn, economist at the Mortgage Bankers Association, said the following. Applications for home purchases to continue to recover from April's sizable drop and have now increased for 5 consecutive weeks. Government purchase applications, which include FHA, VA, and USDA loans, are now 5% higher than a year ago, which is an encouraging turnaround after the weakness seen over the past 2 months. So if you're looking at, I think this is saying for May, there's a 5% increase in applications for home purchases compared to the previous year, which makes sense because you have this backlog of people that were sitting and waiting kind of for things to clear up. And then it says, additionally, according to Google Trends, which scores search terms online, searches for real estate increased from 68 points the week of March 15th to 92 points last week. As we can see, more potential home buyers are looking for homes virtually. So that's a pretty cool tool if you are ever interested in looking at trends in a market. You can go to trends.google.com and you can enter something like real estate, landlord, or different terms like that. And you can see how that search term is trending. So what this is saying is, mid-March, it had 68 points, and then now it's 92 points. And it's based actually on like an overall score. So what I mean by that is It's not like that means you got 68 searches or anything like that. It's actually taking the whole entire internet and what people are searching for, and it's giving you an idea of where people's attention and focus is at during that time, because it'll give you a chronological timeline of that term too, which is really neat. So like if you put in something like fidget spinner, you will see this massive spike because it was this like cultural phenomenon like 2-3 years ago, and then it's gone, right? But if you are looking into things as far as real estate, Google or trends.google.com could be an interesting tool because, if you think there's going to be a trend in a certain aspect of real estate, you can kind of search to see if other people are searching for it and if there's demand for that as well. So there's just a little tidbit. Going back to the article, it says, what's the opportunity for buyers? So another reason buyers are coming back to the market, even with forced unemployment and stay-at-home orders, is historically low mortgage rates. Sam Cotter, chief economist at Freddie Mac, indicates that for the fourth consecutive week, the 30-year fixed mortgage has been below 3.3%, giving potential buyers a good reason to continue shopping even amid the pandemic. As states reopen, we're seeing purchase demand improve remarkably fast, now essentially flat relative to a year ago. So with mortgage rates at such low levels and states gradually beginning to reopen, there's more incentive than ever to buy a home this summer. So what's the opportunity for a seller? Well, finding a home to buy, however, is still a challenge, as this spring sellers removed many listings from the market. Though more people are now putting their houses up for sale this month as compared to last month, current inventory is still well below last year's level. So that is really interesting because what we've established is that in the past month that applications for a home loan are up 5%, but that the actual inventory is down. So of course, it sounds like we've got high demand and low supply. So there actually surprisingly might be an opportunity for sellers. I apologize if you hear the pounding in the background. That's my son hitting the door. Hopefully the mic isn't picking it up, but you know how it is. Work from home. A lot of people are dealing with extra noises and distractions than normal. So going back to this, there's a nice quote. It says, according to last week's weekly economic and housing market update from Realtor.com, weekly housing inventory showed continued tightening. New listings declined 28% compared with a year ago, as sellers grapple with uncertainty and hesitated bringing homes to market. Total listings dropped 20% year over year, a faster rate than in prior weeks, leaving very few homes available for sale. As time on market was 15 days slower year over year, asking prices moved up 1.5% year over year. So if you're thinking of selling your house this summer, now may be your best opportunity with so few homes on the market for buyers to purchase. This season may be the time for your house to stand out from the crowd. Trusted real estate professionals can help you list safely and effectively, keeping your family's needs top of mind. Buyers are looking and are in your house, maybe at the top of their list. So I found this pretty interesting because I think, at least from my perspective, the general consensus I had was that this would really knock the real estate market down for a while. Just thinking, the uncertainty of things, right? Like who's going to get approved for a loan if you just lost your job is one part of it. But then also if you just lost your job, you probably don't want to spend a ton of money buying a house and then having to fix it up and all that kind of stuff. But this is saying that right now the demand is up. Price is up, but inventory is low. So if you have been thinking, if there is that one, you're looking at your portfolio, maybe you got 8 units and there's that one that drives you nuts. Maybe right now will be a time to test the waters and see what it might do on the market because there's people looking out there. But that's all I've got for you this week, guys. I apologize. I probably should have said at the beginning, but I got a little bit of raspiness in the old throat. I learned a valuable lesson last Friday is don't try to start working out again by jump roping outside, because I'm pretty sure I made a wind tunnel of pollen into my face and then just got killed with allergies all weekend. But I'm feeling much better today, which is great. I'm not taking allergy medicine and all that jazz, so I'm feeling good about that. And I always appreciate you guys listening. I look forward to catching up with you next week, and I hope you have a great week. Take care.